So you guys already know that TacKnives make some of the best affordable OTF knives, like this premium Wharncliffe or this budget OTF Karambit. What if I told you we had something a little different today? We have TacKnives' first ever fixed blade and a prototype from their premium brand TakCom. You're going to want to see this video, so stick around. What's up, Cripple Crew? EDC with DBD, Disabled but Deadly. And today, I'm bringing you a video from TacKnives and TakCom. TacKnives has been my favorite OTF company for a couple of years now. They make very high quality and affordable OTF knives, and they started a premium line with Best Tech called TakCom. And TakCom makes some of the nicest OTFs out of premium materials, but at very affordable costs. However, TacKnives has grown, and they also offer some manual folders now, but he's got his very first fixed blade design, and I'm very excited to show that to you now. But first, stab that like button, like you mean it, /subscribe. I'd love to have you here, and you're not going to want to miss all the dope knife and EDC content coming your way. Also, drop a comment below. Let me know what's in your pockets. All right, not only do I love it when you guys to see what you guys are carrying, but your interaction with my videos helps push this out to other folks. Okay, let's get to the Marlin. This is TacKnives' first fixed blade, and I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan. So this came in as part of the passaround with the TakCom Prototype, and I requested it because of the TakCom Prototype. This was really just an afterthought to me. It was just part of the box. I saw the design. I thought it was going to be bigger than it is, and I didn't think that the straight handle was going to be all that comfortable, so I wasn't all that excited until I got it in hand. The first time I popped this out of the Kydex sheath and my thumb went on that thumb ramp, I knew what he was going for, because this feels perfect, feels great. I can choke up right behind that edge if I need to do some detailed work with that hollow area. Back here, using this wide belly with a very sharp flat grind, I'm locked in and I feel that I can thrust without sliding up towards that blade at all. The handle is way more comfortable than I expected. And I mean, it's perfect for a beef jerky, Avenger, or Defender grip. Either way, you're locked in. I pulled this knife out and loved it. So what you're looking at is a total length of 8 1/4 inches with a 4-inch blade of D2 steel. You've got a very nice heavy stone wash on that D2. And then in this first recurve section, you've got a very deep hollow. And then up here, you have a flat grind. And let me tell you, both edges are insanely sharp. This might be the sharpest knife I have received. With that hollow area, I can make the smallest ribbons of confetti. It just wants to bite right through that paper. It glides. That forward flat section just That is sharp. Crazy sharp. I can sit here and make confetti all day long with either edge on this blade. I am very, very impressed with the edge on this TacKnives Marlin. So, you have a Kydex sheath that is pancake style, does have a drainage hole, and a lot of lashing or attachment points. Very positive retention and click. Nice little tiny bit of rattle. It's tiniest bit of rattle, but it's not going anywhere, and I'm not squeezing. You've got a nice spot for your thumb to push off and launch it. And it comes with this belt attachment, which you can rotate to carry either horizontally or vertically, depending on where you mount this. It'll carry either way. Or I'm sure you can use an Ulti clip or a TekLock style attachment, which I would probably use a TekLock and mount this appendix carry along my belt so that it's right there to grab. The sheath, very nice. The mounting system is okay. But this knife is really, really wicked. Whether you're using this for an EDC, you've got a nice pokey tip. You've got two pronounced tips. And in a pinch grip, this is very comfortable. And I can easily get this secondary tip down to open up any package, any box, control the depth of my cut by using that secondary tip. I can get this belly down to do any type of cutting on a flat surface. And I can still get that main point down pretty easily in a pinch grip. This was made to be comfortable in the saber grip though. And it really locks you into this saber grip. Definitely could turn around and cut some straps, and this recurve area is going to help trap materials. Overall, I think this makes a wicked EDC that is a very, very good option for a self-defense or a beef jerky defense knife. Nobody's going to get your beef jerky. This blade looks crazy. But when you get it in hand and actually start using it and seeing how easy all these different parts of the blade are to use, that's when I really got impressed and realized this makes a good EDC option. Did I mention it's only $49? $49. Total weight is less than 5 ounces. And for a full tank, 3.5 millimeter blade stock thickness with G10 handles and the Kydex sheath, that's pretty good weight. I could easily carry this all day. The D2 is listed at 58 HRC, which for a fixed blade is fine. That you'd probably want to be more around 60 on a folder. But on a fixed blade, running it a little softer is going to let it take more impact. It's still going to have very good blade retention, or edge retention, I should say. D2 is one of the best edge retention steels at that under $50 price point. Their edge with these crazy grinds that they had to follow, this crazy edge, their grind is still very even, impressively so. There is not a sharpening choil. Being a fixed blade, you could add your own, but the way this is designed to trap materials right here, I can see why he left the choil out, is so materials don't get stuck in that choil. Plus, this is also for your self-defense usage, and you don't want materials getting caught up in that choil there. So I understand why it was left out for both EDC and self-defense reasons. That means, of course, that you are going to get a smile. You'll hit your plunge grind in the back, but you can cut your own in if you'd like. Just know that this recurve area meant for trapping materials could catch some in there if there was a choil right there. So I'm not going to ding this knife at all for not having a sharpening choil. I understand why. I also appreciate that it can be taken apart so that you can clean underneath those G10 scales, which the D2 not being a fully stainless metal, the stainless blade steel, that is good to be able to get under there and clean out if need be. I haven't had issue with D2 where I am at, but it's not a very high humidity area, and I keep KPL knife shield on my D2. So, my verdict on the Marlin, $50 steal. This is going to be part of my collection very soon. All right. But now for the TakCom Prototype. So this knife is currently, as of yet, unnamed. Not to be confused with the unnamed, which is TakCom's newest button lock knife. That looks sick, and I hope to bring it to you guys soon. This knife will have a name, it's just not named yet. And what you're looking at is almost exactly 7.5 inches with a 3-inch blade of MagnaCut steel and a really cool modified sheep's foot blade shape. You have this one has a bit of a mirror finish to it, obviously, but the factory, the production version, will have a stonewash finish, which, if you don't like fingerprints on your blade, the stonewash finish will be much better for that. And this blade, I love the large fuller in it for the reverse flick. It's running the full length of the blade makes it very easy to reverse flick with any finger. It also has the front flipper that is done very well. You got some thick jimping leading up, but it's soft, it's rounded on the edges, so it's not rough. It's not going to chew up your finger like some front flippers. The production version will include a removable thumb stud. I personally wouldn't run it on this knife, but I know that fuller flicking isn't the easiest for everybody. And I personally, because of the lock bar and the way I hold this knife, I'm not able to thumb flick off of the fuller. And so the removable thumb stud would probably help with that quite a bit. I can use my thumb or index for that front flipper. Let's see. Yes, we can do the reach around. We're looking at almost 4.5-inch handles of titanium that is milled out to reduce weight in there. See if I can get that to show up. Milled out to reduce weight. We've got, I like that, I don't know if it's going to stay this way, but I like that there's no billboarding on this knife. But if they were to put a logo on it, I would think that that pivot would be the spot to drop it. We're looking at either anodized titanium or aluminum pivot collar. It's like a gold green. Milled titanium pocket clip that looks really nice, and it goes in and out of the pocket very well. A milled and geared tie back spacer with a hidden lanyard post. So folks that want to run a lanyard can, and folks that hate a lanyard hole don't have to see it. Best of both worlds. our stop pin falls way behind the edge termination. Our stop pin actually falls back here. So that means that our sharpening choil is already done really well. There's the beginning of the plunge grind. There's the end of the plunge grind. So you've got this life here to sharpen. But if you ever needed more, you could add more, or you could enlarge that sharpening choil with no problem. That edge is very close to the end of the blade, but even pushing down in, I can't hook that edge. So if you're looking and thinking that that corner is a little low, I wouldn't worry about that catching anything. This is a prototype, and I wasn't expecting the sharpest edge on it. However, even the prototype has a nice edge on it. And I'm sure after feeling the Marlin that the factory production version with the MagnaCut is going to be plenty sharp. And the nice thing about MagnaCut is it's going to hold that edge for a good long while, but it's also going to be very, very stain resistant and plenty tough. The OEM is not set yet, but it's most likely to be Best Tech because of TacKnives' relationship with Best Tech. And the price is not set yet. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but I know that TacKnives and TakCom both try to keep their pricing very fair. That was the whole reason I found TacKnives, was because of their pricing on OTF knives. For quality OTF knives, I've given away over a dozen TacKnife OTFs as gifts, and have yet to have an issue with any of them. So I know that the quality on their folder and on their fixed blade are both going to be very high. And I am excited for both of these knives. You can get the Marlin right now. This will be linked below. It is an affiliate link, so it does help the channel out. But this is linked below at TacKnives today. And when it comes time for this knife to launch, I will release more information about it, name, price, OEM, and if there's been any changes we didn't expect. But I can say, so far, I really like the ergos on this. It's definitely a full-size knife. I can stay way behind that, behind that pivot and still have a full 4-finger grip. But this area is softened very nicely to choke up right behind that edge. And this jimping goes out far enough that the heel of my thumb is still on that jimping to lock me in for any longer cuts or anything that I want that control over. Pinch grip, I've got a spot there for my finger or up at the tip, and I can get that tip down very easily because it's a low tip sheepfoot style blade. I can use that belly on a flat surface for cutting, and I can get it down without my fingers being in the way in a pinch grip. Turning it around to cut some straps or something is pretty comfortable. Beef Jerky Avenger and Defender grips are both comfortable and locked in without me worrying about being close to the edge of that blade, and I don't feel like I'm going to slide. Oh, and this is like a cross between an orange peel and a hammered texture, and I really dig it. I don't know what other finishes will be offered or colors, but I really like this, like hammered, definitely beyond an orange peel texture. And it feels good and adds a little bit of extra grip in the hand. So, I will drop more information when this is coming out, but today you can pick this sick Marlin up. Let me know what you guys think about both of these. You can tell I'm a fan, and that this really surprised me. I'm happy that it did, because now I know that I really want one of these in the collection. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on it. My thoughts right now are also with everybody that's in the path of Milton and everybody recovering from Helene. I hope everybody's doing okay out there. If you can help any way that you can, help. If you can't, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. But I hope everybody down there and everybody out there stay safe, stay frosty, and stay deadly.